Good morning. I'm pleased to welcome you to Atlanta for the 146th NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits. 2017 is shaping up to be a promising year for our rights, with a pro-Second Amendment president in the White House and a friendly majority in both houses of Congress. But that doesn't mean we can afford to fight with any less resolve than we showed last year. The people we are honoring today have selflessly given in order to preserve our rights, and their examples should be an inspiration to all of us. The Golden Ring of Freedom is reserved for individuals and corporations who have made gifts of $1 million cash or more. These selfless, passionate, and devoted leaders are vital in the effort to protect our freedoms now and in the future. I'm proud to introduce the newest Gold Jacket recipients. Our first inductee may be young, but he's revolutionizing a business that he's been devoted to since childhood. Kevin Hogan was appointed president last year of Rock Island Auction, the world's #1 firearms auction house. His father, CEO Pat Hogan, is also a Gold Jacket recipient. In his first year as president, Kevin has already set a world record for the most valuable single firearm ever sold at auction. He has also proven his commitment to defending gun rights with the Rock Island Auction Freedom Challenge, a program supporting NRA ILA in which the company pledged to match all donations up to $1 million. Kevin is proving himself to be a confident and dedicated friend to the Second Amendment, and I couldn't be more pleased to induct him today into the Golden Ring of Freedom.
Kevin and I were totally backwards in the normal father-son relationship. He's been the teacher to me. He loves guns and he loves hunting.
He plays off me, I play off him, but it's 25 years of doing it together.
From 6 years old, you couldn't keep him away from this place.
I followed my dad around like a dog. There's no question that he's my hero.
I would come home with a catalog and he'd tell me what was wrong with it. Totally self-taught.
Rock Island Auction Company is a rotating museum. It's the best museum. You don't have to press your face against museum glass. You can come and put real history in your hands.
One of the things that people don't know about him is he has completed the largest deals in the history of gun collecting since the beginning of time. He understands the significance of a lifetime of someone collecting and understands how emotional that is. That's why I'm so proud of him.
We preserve history. We're not mercenaries. Our business is also our passion. The passion for the Second Amendment is freedom.
And don't even mess with that. The passions are so deep that they'll be hell to pay if they do mess with it.
A year ago, our livelihood was on a total razor's edge of existence.
We knew if we lose this election, if we lose the Supreme Court appointee, if we had the Heller decision reversed, how do you come back from that?
Regret's a terrible thing to live with. So the Rock Island Auction Company Freedom Challenge, we said we would match every donation up to $1 million.
Kevin took the leadership role in the Freedom Challenge and really drove it home.
We are digging deep. It's because we have to. So do you.
Kevin will be an ambassador, and this is what he loves. And I think that given the fighting spirit, he's in a good place to be able to reach out to the young people.
Youth is humongous. Getting youth involved is at the core. If they do not get involved, we're at risk of losing our very basic freedom and necessity to own a firearm, protect our families.
NRA cannot do it alone. And I still would like to chastise every single individual out there who's in this business and who has not given to NRA ILA. Get on the freedom train.
Later's never good enough. And the thing that always sinks in my head is what my dad says. He says, look to your left, look to your right. Do you want to depend on that person to protect your Second Amendment, to protect that freedom? Or do you want to do it yourself? And it's never over, it's never done.
Looking at everything Kevin has accomplished during his short tenure as president, I think I speak for all in saying that we can't wait to see what his future has in store. Our next inductee, Sig Sauer CEO Ron Cohen, commands the respect of the entire firearms industry. Over the past decade, he has transformed a struggling company into a global titan with his charismatic leadership style and his focus on embracing SIG's original role as a military supplier. Now boasting a much larger, vertically integrated organization and having won the U.S. military's modular handgun system competition with its P320, Sig Sauer is poised to continue growing as an industry stalwart. On Ron's watch, the company has been a valued ally to the NRA in the shooting world, most recently through its sponsorship of the NRA Outdoors Tactical Carbine class. I am proud to recognize Ron for his accomplishments and his generosity in the cause of advancing our Second Amendment freedoms.
We love to say that. You touch a SIG, and more importantly, you shoot a SIG, they get it.
As our motto says, when it counts, that is SIG. It is the peak of what we do here.
Absolutely. Sky's the limit with Ron in charge.
Ron Cohen doesn't have to write his resume. You can just walk around this factory, which didn't exist when he got here. Ron Cohen's impact on SIG, this is his resume.
Ron got here, we were down to about 75 employees, and it was on shaky ground. And Ron had a vision, and it comes from work and dedication. And to be part of it and to experience it has just been tremendous.
Ron Cohen is really 24/7, 365. It's his passion, it's his life's work, and he rallies people around him to be driven.
To me, the team is everything. No man ever succeeds on his own. No company ever succeeds because of one individual. This is all about the tremendous passion of the people here. It is more than a job, it's a family. To think that 1,600 employees of SIG serving military and law enforcement customers, their life depends on what we do. It's the most gratifying part of the job.
That's what drives us every day. And the very DNA of the company was formed on chasing a military contract.
They started in 1853 as a wagon wheel company.
They saw a contract for the Swiss Army to build a rifle, and they, lo and behold, won this contract, and that part of its DNA has never changed. It's because they can trust SIG.
We think of ourselves as a complete systems provider.
The singular brand that houses underneath it firearms, optics, ammunition, and suppressors, that's unique.
It's an amazing success story.
When I put the gold jacket on, I'll feel the respect of 1,600 employees and the burden of having to stand up and participate in a bigger way in defending our freedom. It is a great honor.
How can you be in the outdoor industry and not support the NRA?
The NRA is one of the torchbearers of freedom.
Sitting on the fence, impossible in today's world. We haven't won the war, we won a battle, and we must continue to win.
Whether we are gun companies or whether we are individuals, we all have to pull together because there's so many people out there trying to erode our rights and our freedoms given to us by the Constitution. Freedom is not free.
Ron is an inspiration to the firearms industry and a true friend of the Second Amendment. We count ourselves fortunate to have him on our team. Our next recipient has been a committed shooter since he was a child, and his enthusiasm for firearms has taken him far. Matt Buckingham is president of the Firearms Division at Smith & Wesson, where he works to expand the company's reach while maintaining its reputation for fine craftsmanship. Matt is passionate about bringing women into the shooting world, as reflected by Smith & Wesson's continuing sponsorship of NRA Women. Smith & Wesson is a longtime supporter and friend of the NRA, and it is my pleasure to award the gold jacket to this richly deserving man who is so central to the company's efforts.
Matt, he has a passion. He has a passion for the shooting sports. He has a passion for his job, and he can shoot.
I grew up, hunting in the Midwest. I grew up shooting. So joining Smith & Wesson has kind of always been a goal of mine, really, to work for a brand that is part of American history. It's such an iconic brand.
He's definitely a solid leader, rolling his sleeves up, getting into the details, which makes him extremely popular here at work as well. And that's half the battle, as you know. If you're a fit with the team, you get that team dynamic right, then you're going to be successful.
It's working for a winning team. For my role, I'm focused solely on firearms, and firearms still is very much the heartbeat of the company.
So he's got 4 key brands to work with. Obviously the iconic Smith & Wesson, the very much up-and-coming M&P, Military and Police, Thompson Center brand, hunting, and Performance Center. A very exciting time for sure.
The big one for us right now is the M&P M2.0, So that's taking our M&P series, which really took us into the polymer pistol world where we'd never been before. Was a huge hit. And we've taken 10 years of learning and experience and put it into this new M&P M2.0 platform. It's a great firearm. I had a chance to shoot it the other day. It's accurate, it's easy to shoot. The future's so bright for Smith & Wesson. You know, I've witnessed it over the last 10 years. More and more women, not only interested in shooting and firearms, but even working in the industry. Smith & Wesson has always been a huge supporter of women, whether it's our support of the Women's Network through the NRA, Babes with Bullets. Yeah, we all work together.
It's a sense of pride for us. I mean, that's what we're all about.
To us, it is about America. It's about the Second Amendment and supporting our rights to own firearms. And so we have always put our money where our mouth is. Smith & Wesson has always been a great partner to the NRA, and vice versa. The NRA has always been a great partner to us. It's not a one-way street.
And over the last few years, we've seen many people step up and receive their gold jacket, which has been fantastic to see. It's great to be part of that. We certainly wouldn't want to be on the outside looking in.
I take it very seriously. And to me, I can be really an ambassador for what that jacket represents. I don't think we ever have the luxury of being complacent. There's always going to be those who want to take that right away from us. But if we stand together, we won't lose. We'll win.
Matt is the real deal when it comes to loving firearms in the Second Amendment, and I'm delighted to have him on this stage. It's no exaggeration to say that Glock has transformed the world of law enforcement and is hard at work at doing the same for the concealed carry community. The company's success has been all about making pistols renowned for their durability and reliability under difficult conditions. I'm honored to present Vice President Josh Dorsey with the gold jacket today. Under his supervision, Glock is a faithful friend to the NRA and to a variety of causes such as firearms education and supporting the families of fallen troops. Josh is a great steward and a committed defender of our Second Amendment rights.
It's the only firearm that I know in the entire world that when you actually put a silhouette of it up, people know exactly what it is. They know it's a Glock.
Mr. Glock, he's a visionary, took an idea and changed the history of semi-automatic pistol.
His vision was to help the Austrian army. He had a blank sheet of paper and he went to work. And his focus has been and always will be on those that go in harm's way, the military and the law enforcement. That's what drives our success.
We're in roughly 80% of American law enforcement.
It comes down to the one word, it's confidence.
They have to know when they pull the trigger, it will fire each and every time. And that's the beauty of the Glock pistol.
I've even had people that hate our product say, I love it because it works. It doesn't have bells and whistles. It's going to work the way you need it to work.
The safety, reliability, dependability of the Glock pistol is time proven.
Everything, everywhere you look here is part of Mr. Glock.
His motto, which is Glock perfection in each and everything that we do. It's as simple as that.
It makes you really proud because I saw what it did for me as a police officer, as a law enforcement official over the years, and I wanted to be a part of that team.
Many of our clients will pull us aside and tell us that your product saved our lives. And just knowing that I'm helping them lets me sleep better at night.
Glock not only sells pistols or firearms, we sell responsibility.
A lot of people out there believe that it's purely just trying to make money, and it's not the case. What we truly do down here at Glock Professional is classes, training, and helping them work on and or shoot better. It means a lot.
Giving them the support that they deserve for doing a job that, quite frankly, is very oftentimes thankless.
It's part of what the company is. It's not just making a great product, but it's also being part of the community.
Why would you not give as much as you can to support the NRA, the people that protect us and what our industry is about? Because who else will do it?
You got to ask yourself that question, who better than I to go forward and fight for the freedom that we all love and enjoy? It's not for us necessarily, it's for those that come behind us.
Don't take it for granted. The Second Amendment, you can pretty much kiss it goodbye.
Get involved. You have to have a voice. It needs to be done now.
Every one of us has to pull our weight. Nobody can give up or give in. There's no slack days.
It's an investment in our freedom.
That's our goal. I believe in Glock and I believe in the NRA.
We owe Josh our thanks for continuing to invest in excellence and in freedom for future generations. At this time, I have the rare pleasure of awarding the gold jacket to a hugely deserving man who doesn't know he's being inducted into the Golden Ring of Freedom. As the CEO of Hornady Manufacturing Company, Steve Hornady has shown a dogged commitment to delivering only the best precision ammunition. Steve has run the company since the tragic death of his father, founder Joyce Hornady, in 1981. And his friends and employees will tell you that he's a devoted hunter and shooter and a man of the people. He also brought his son Jason on as vice president, extending the Hornady legacy into its third generation. And by the way, Steve, you have Jason to blame for this surprise. Hornady supports the NRA through donations and membership drives, and the company's generosity extends to a wide range of causes. Please join me in recognizing this humble giant in the industry.
If you asked Steve to describe himself, being the CEO of a company is something that probably wouldn't be on his list of descriptors.
No, he's a hunter, he's a shooter, he loves the industry.
Steve's hunted all over the world.
I think every country that ends in Stan he's been to. I'm talking about Pakistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan.
Steve is the patriarch of our company. He's also one of the patriarchs of the industry, but he's a regular guy. For most of us that work here, he's like Uncle Steve.
He's a person that really drives for the best all the time, and Hornady is a precision ammunition company, and that's a reflection of Steve Hornady.
Everybody should use a Hornady bullet if they're a shooter. Shoots the best in accuracy.
And, you know, it's fun to shoot, and that's really what this is all about, right? Steve is the guy who literally invented zombie ammo.
This isn't a job for Steve. It's his life, and I think it's in his genes. He's sort of a Renaissance guy.
My grandfather was killed in a plane crash, and so my dad, who was supposed to be on that plane, he will be the first one to tell you he was not prepared to take over the business. My dad was 31 years old. I asked him once, what would Poppy, my grandfather Joyce, say if he saw our operation now? And he said he would look at us and go, this cannot be done. But you know what? We got big plans to grow, and he doesn't have any plans on going anywhere. It's not just about the firearm to Dad. It's about who we are, the ability to carry a gun if you want or hunt with your grandkids.
He's passionate about making sure that they will have the same ability that he's experienced over his lifetime.
Right now is not the time to get complacent. Get off your rear, take a stand. Steve doesn't see it any other way.
He backs up his words with action.
I think it's fantastic that Steve's getting the gold jacket. This is an honor for all of us to see.
Steve has been a silent supporter of the NRA and the industry his whole life.
We have to do it ourselves. We have to defend our rights, and he firmly believes that with everything he is. And when people want to come after these inalienable rights, he's going to argue and fight until he's got no fight left. But I think both of us would tell you that when we die, we want people to say we were fun to have in hunting camp.
What a great man and a nice surprise. Steve, you deserve every bit of the recognition you received today. Ruger has distinguished itself as a company that is fiercely devoted to defending the Second Amendment. Starting with the 1 million gun challenge, we've now seen a 2.5 million gun challenge as well. Ruger raised millions of dollars to support NRA ILA and galvanized the rest of the industry to follow its lead. In less than 2 years, the company directly gave $11 million and oversaw the donation of another $5 million through the $5 million match campaign, along with helping to recruit new NRA members. Today, instead of honoring an executive, Ruger would like to recognize the 2,500 employees who maintain its standard of excellence. On behalf of its entire workforce, 3 employees will stand on this stage to receive the gold jacket, one from each of Ruger's production facilities. These individuals represent the passion and drive of a company that fights to preserve what it believes in.
Ruger is America. We're an American company. We build American products designed with American ingenuity. I'm really proud of my time at Ruger, and in particular in the team we've put together.
Definitely big shoes to fill, but it's been a great ride. Once the baton is passed, so to speak, I certainly want to continue the great job Mike has done, make sure we're always at the forefront of new product development, and we've got to continue to support the NRA ILA in their battle, because those battles don't end.
And frankly, I think we have the easier end of the bargain. I can't stand Washington. I don't want to go anywhere near it. It's like watching sausage being made. On the other hand, we can help raise some of the funds that keep those people fighting on our behalf and really doing the hard, tough grunt work to protect our rights.
And I think it's important to remember that while they may be enshrined in the Constitution, we know that we have enemies at every level attacking those rights. Without being constantly vigilant and proactive, we're at risk of losing those rights.
This was an all or none election, the fight of our lives to protect our rights. We made a really important step forward in electing a new president who honors and respects the Second Amendment. That was critical.
When Wayne said the time for action is now, I think he's reminding all of us that we may have won a battle, but it's not a one-shot deal. Our actions today will have lasting impact on future generations.
Ruger took a lead role during this last campaign. We raised about $18 million, and that's how you win these battles.
You look around, look at the folks that are wearing the gold jacket. You see some great, great Americans that have been out there supporting the NRA ILA, and we're proud to be part of that.
It's grown each year, and I'm proud to be part of the inaugural class. It really has to do with the freedoms of our country.
Later's not good enough. Every little bit counts, and every little bit is needed. And if you're not currently supporting NRA, you need to do a gut check. You can't take a break from protecting our Second Amendment rights.
But we showed in 2016 that together we can win. And if people keep up that level of commitment and we all back a common voice, we'll win again.
Ruger's employees are the ones in the spotlight today. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say a word to acknowledge the legacy of Mike Pfeiffer, who will be retiring from his position of CEO in the coming weeks. Mike has spent a glorious decade transforming his company and redefining the role of the firearms industry in defending the Second Amendment. From all of us at the NRA, thank you, Mike, and enjoy your retirement. I encourage everyone to congratulate these new inductees in your own ways over the course of this weekend. They all share our unwavering belief in the NRA and the rights for which we fight. To the inductees, we are always grateful for your trailblazing generosity. Together, we will continue to preserve the freedom we all cherish. Enjoy your weekend.